Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, forgive me. I got allergies that are absolutely killing me today. But I took a Claritin, and I'm getting through it. Guys, welcome again. Welcome to all the new subscribers, guys. Anybody watching the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. Um, this is this has been a little bit of a shocking rise since my numbers have gone up quite a bit. I mean, they're still baby, but it's enough that I got to start reconsidering maybe redoing my testimony and explaining more. But again, you guys can always go back and look at some of my earlier videos if you're interested. Anyway, guys, how we all doing today? Rainy, brutal weather today, but I talked about it yesterday. I picked up a new customer on Saturday, I believe. I went and I took the job. It was about a 45-minute ride. It was a good little ride away. But you know what? I timed it, and it's one of those things where the highways that I was taking, if you're familiar with the Boston area, 93 to 95, heading towards New Hampshire, can get really, really overwhelmed with traffic, right? And because of that, a lot of people say, "Oh, as a matter of fact, I bumped into somebody I know walking out of the house this morning. He's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're gonna go up there for work. You're gonna hit all this traffic." And no, what I did was I planned accordingly. It was a matter of either leaving early or leaving late. Just, if I left to go there at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, yeah, it probably would have been, it would have been horrible. I mean, pouring rain, accidents everywhere, and bumper to bumper traffic for hours. Instead, I left at 7 o'clock in the morning and shot right up there, and I was there in 40 minutes. No traffic whatsoever, traffic coming down from New Hampshire. But I plan to be on the opposite of it, guys, right? So, when you can always find an excuse not to do something, but you can also always plan something smart, and where other people find excuses, you can find solutions, and that's what I did. So I went and did this job. I got there, and again, good ride up the road. I got there, and it was a faulty gas valve on a gas-fired forced hot air furnace, and literally took me begin again. I know what I'm doing. I'm very forced hot air furnaces. If you're in the heating profession, are the simplest of any heating system out there. They're really nothing to them. And then in particular, I'll give you guys a heads up. If you're ever working on one, if you flip the switch and the glow plug lights, then literally it cuts out all the safeties because the glow plug won't ignite if any of your safeties are bad. So literally you cut out half your diagnostics right there. And sure enough, it did light. And being experienced like I am, I immediately felt the gas valve. I felt it click. So I know the gas valve is getting power from the computer, but it did not open. A faulty gas valve, very common, very simple. So literally, I'm there 5 minutes and I have the thing diagnosed. I spent another 10 or 15 minutes trying to find the part, and then come to find out I literally had to drive all the way back down to literally half a mile up the street from my house to get it. But again, not a big deal. Drove down, no traffic, grabbed the part, shot back up, installed the thing. Now, actual physical work time was probably 45 minutes, not even, guys, that's an exaggeration, 30 minutes. Um, I had already called the customer, explained what I found, let him know I could go get it. This is what it's going to cost, and I charged him $400, with the valve, and he was absolutely thrilled with that because I came right out. They're selling the house this week. They needed it done to close, and it's taken care of. It's off their schedule, and I made good money. Now other people might have charged more, excuse me, but again, travel time and whatnot. But the part cost me about $100, guys. I made $300 in 45 minutes of work, and it was incredibly fair. I was actually on the low side of the situation with travel and everything else. And then this same customer called me about 3 hours ago, and let me know he's doing a home remodel right up the street here in Medford next door, and offered me to do the plumbing and heating, and so the plumbing in the kitchen and bath, and then update the heating system. And now that will literally be the biggest job I've taken on yet, because it involves pulling permits, and so I know that's over my head. But I did not take the job. The guy's seen my work; he knows I'm capable. But coordinating all that and then making sure everything's up to code would be a little bit out of my comfort zone. So what I'll do is I'm going to invite my friend Chris, who's a licensed master plumber. He'll come in on the job with me. We've already discussed in the past. It's like, hey, you got any jobs you need to pull permits? Let me know. We'll do them together, and that way we'll both make money, and it'll be fantastic, right? So literally, instead of in the old days, I would have literally denied that job and said, no, 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 I can't pull permits. No, that's way over my head. No, man, collaborate, find a way to get it done, and again, make sure you're going to do it right. Now I got a licensed master plumber. He knows all the codes. We're going to have it inspected. We're going to have permits pulled. We're gonna price it accordingly, and we're gonna make we'll make not gonna make we're not gonna retire off it, but it'll certainly be the highest paid single job I've done to date, and it's just gonna open the door for more and more of these things. As a matter of fact, I'll probably down the road we'll probably end up maybe working together, or at least I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but again, it's more opportunities, and I'm helping him out, and I'm helping myself out, and we're taking care of the customer, guys. So literally, you gotta be willing to bet on yourself, to step out of your comfort zone and be willing to grow. And again, I'm saying these things because literally my entire life is expanding so incredibly fast right now. And in the past, this is where I would shut myself down because I'd get overwhelmed. And again, I'm not doing that because I know I'm walking in faith. I'm staying rooted in prayer, rooted in challenging myself. And as soon as I know the job's coming up, I'm going to start studying everything I can on, putting appropriate bid, estimate, how to properly estimate the job. And again, I'll have Chris there to do it with me. But again, I'd like to be able to be confident on my own end of things. So in case I get a call from the customer, I got to meet him over there, and Chris isn't there with me. I don't want to be stupid and stammering and have the guy. He's one of these guys where if I were to do that, he would certainly lock me. He would see that and he would prey on that in a heartbeat and lock me in on a price that would probably screw myself. And you got to be careful of these things when you're doing contracted work, guys, because when you submit a bid for a job like that that's going to a bank loan, they got this all gets submitted. That's now legal. It's legally binding. So if you make a mistake and bid something under and overlook something, you're going to have to come up and take care of it. So again, I'll challenge myself and I'll study up. And again, I'm going to cover myself by having somebody that has the experience right there with me. But these are the ways that you expand and you start to grow, guys. And again, it's getting out of your comfort zone, and that's literally what I'm doing. I'm challenging myself to respond to all the offers that come my way, because literally, guys, I talk about it enough. I feel like I've got a direct line to the heavens right now, and again, as I say these things, I realize how silly that may sound. But if you're watching my videos and you're watching what's going on in my life, it's kind of hard to deny it, guys. Literally, just the way it's unfolding. And again, I don't know if it's karma. I don't know if it's law of attraction. I don't know, because I'm not an expert on that, and that's why I'm not selling you some mastery course. I'm just sharing with you what I've been through, my experience. And again, you guys, those of you who've been around long enough to have seen my testimony, and for those of you that are new, I urge you to, if you guys want to see why these things that are simple to so many people are so shocking to me, because of what I've been through and where I'm coming from. And it's the beauty of it, guys. And there's so many lessons I want to kick out that I'm gonna have to just do this in the sub part all week, I suppose, because I haven't even begun to touch what I wrote out here, and then we'll just put that for tomorrow. And that's fine. Again, I don't worry about these things. I feel like what comes is what I feel is important at the time, and hopefully somebody's getting something out of it. But guys, when you're coming out of stuff and you're trying to build your life, you've got to be willing, and you got to be paying attention to the signs and synchronicities that are going on around you, because literally when you walk in faith, when you stay rooted in prayer, and you're doing things the way that I am, literally I'm following the clues and the breadcrumbs that the universe is leaving for me on the direction that I should be going, and I'm following my intuition, and I wouldn't be telling you these things if it wasn't the fact that I'm seeing supernatural results. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I say it all the time, I'm not balling, but I'm building an incredibly solid foundation for a beautiful future run that has literally started now, and it is picking up steam and picking up momentum every day, and it is so incredibly encouraging. And the main topic I wanted to bring up today, guys, was attitude. Your attitude determines your reality, and that's the biggest thing, guys. And somehow I've always had a really good attitude. Even in the worst of things, I was a pretty upbeat, pretty happy person, because that's a choice that I made many years ago. I had come to the conclusion that my life was gonna suck, And again, now I see it's because of the choices I was making and what I was attracting into my life. But still, I was right. My life was absolutely going to suck, and it did for a long, long time. But I chose to be happy and missed the sucking. And I tell you what that did was it showed me that I still had faith, and it gave me the desire to want better. And even though it took a long, long, long time for me to finally figure this out and shed the drugs and literally start this comeback run, but it literally paved the way because even when people knew I was failing and I was falling, because I was always an upbeat, helpful, happy, hardworking person, that when I came out of rehab and I started this little run and people saw that now I'm healthy, on top of my game, literally people are loving seeing this and they're loving having me around and loving offering me things, guys. I get offered, again, not offering like freebies, handouts. I'm talking opportunities. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about, guys. Anybody can stand there and ask for a handout and say, "Woohoo, I won." No, you're not winning, guy. You know what I mean? That old adage, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. That's literally what I'm talking about here. I'm being taught to fish in so many different ways, and I'm doing so incredibly well because I'm doing it with my hand in God. I'm doing it in ways to give back. I'm finding ways to be of service to people throughout my day, everywhere I go, and it's just opening more and more doors. And at the same time, I'm keeping a balance of work and play and fun and learning in my life. And so I'm literally learning new avenues every day to go out and apply into my business. Then I'm picking up new customers because I'm treating people incredibly fair. I'm doing every bit of legwork, every bit of precaution to make sure that my prices are on the low side of reasonable, because I'm up and coming and it's just getting started, and I want people to push me out there and people know, hey, this kid's going to do a great job and he's going to give me a great price. It's literally a great way to build a business. And but at the same time, I'm making money hand over fist compared to what I'm used to making. I'm used to working 80 hours a week to get a paycheck, and now I'm working at my own business rates. And the thing is, guys, I'm not, I'm just adding it into the business. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go open a business account because a couple of my customers, one of my customers has to pay through an LLC because he used to do everything through cash, and he got caught by the IRS and he doesn't want to deal with that again. So I have an LLC right now that's the business is frozen because my identity got hacked and everything's frozen. So somebody opened a payday loan. I still don't have Cash App, Zelle, all these different things. And I could sit there and cry, piss, and moan that I can't do this, I can't do that. And that's the reason I bring this up, guys, is literally the way you look at things determines your reality. Because, again, I could easily sit there and say that, like most people would. Oh, I can't do that. No, it's not true. I did the legwork. And I found out that all I got to do is register a DBA with the state, and I can use my same EIN number, employee identification number, and open another company doing similar structured work under a different name and not have to refile the state, business LLC fees. So I don't have to pay the $500 filing fee, and I can just go open an account with a different name, and that way I can accept, commercial checks and business checks in a business account without having it be tied up with my prior case that I'm still fighting, and eventually I'll fight that, and then I got to probably a couple $1,000s in money tied up in different accounts that it got frozen back in the day. So it was almost like a little savings account for my future. I got a little bit of crypto in a couple accounts I can't touch. Not much. Crypto's down at the moment, but again, it's just sitting there, accruing interest, and eventually I'll get it back because I didn't do anything wrong, so I will win the case. But it takes time, and that's the thing, guys. I don't let these things get me down. I have all the same struggles, and probably more than most people do. And these are the people that sit there crying, woe is me, woe is me. And I'm not. I literally, okay, if I can't touch that now and I can't deal with that now, I'll put that on the shelf and I'm going to go tackle something that I can do. And every one of you can do this. It is literally the difference between success and failure. It's not a huge difference but in what makes a success versus a failure. And attitude and willingness to take action and understanding there's always an action that can be taken. No matter how many doors get shut in your face, there's always going to be one that'll be open. And it may, if you're like myself and you've set yourself up in a bad spot coming out of a bad run, you may have to go the long way around because of roadblocks you put in your own life. And again, I'm saying me, I have to go the long way around. guys, I'm happy doing it because literally I'm moving forward. I'm making progress in every area of my life. My life is being blessed in ways that literally, like, it's funny when I started this run. People was like, a couple of you guys even said it. Oh, it's gonna start coming hard and fast. With your attitude, you're gonna be blessed, and you don't even see it coming. I didn't, guys. I really didn't. I was literally still stuck behind so many limiting beliefs at that point. I was literally just being happy that I could wake up sober and get through the day, not really having started to see the effects of the seeds that I've been sowing for months now, and now I am, and I'm like, I'm in a state of gratitude, and that's the other thing, guys. Gratitude. I say it all the time. Gratitude is a very, very powerful place because again, when you give gratitude, and guys, it's one thing to sit there and be angry and say, okay, I'm grateful. No, you've got to be grateful. And I don't know how. It's the way I'm wired. It's the way I am. It's just the person that I am. I choose to look at the glass half full, and that's literally not. It's a choice, but it's also how I am programmed to look at it now. I don't see the I can't. I see the I must, and particularly when I'm told I can't, and then that becomes an I must. And I'm literally, guys. I've proven a billion times over. There's always a way around. If you want something bad enough, nothing can stand in your way from getting it. And you have to know that, and you have to go at it like that. And then on top of it, guys, also understand that attitude makes the difference. Like when you're a pleasant, upbeat person who's willing to go outside of yourself and see the world around you and want to make a difference and want to make a change while you're working your ass off to do for yourself, you will start to see that whole karma thing come into play. Dharma, karma, law of attraction. You will start to magnetize good things into your existence. And the thing it is, guys, it's like anything else with gravity. That's a beautiful. I'm glad that just popped in my head. My life is starting to have its own gravity. It is pulling beautiful experiences into my reality. And I don't think I've ever said anything in my life that makes me anywhere near as happy as the fact that I just said that, and I mean it, and it's the truth. Guys, I don't say these things to, this is not me getting on here and bragging because it's not the case. I'm trying to show you what is capable when you apply yourself, and I want to see every one of you do this. This is literally what we're doing here, guys. We're making a movement that changes lives. I'm changing lives around me, and I'm encouraging others, and I'm literally building a life that is beyond my wildest dreams. Stick around, boys and girls. The ride's just getting started, and boys are getting good. We're getting up there in time. I'm going to try and start keeping these things a little bit lower. I notice engagement rate. I think we do it better when they're under 10 minutes. Guys, feel free to leave a comment. I will not be offended. I'd literally like to make these things so they work for all of us, so we all get as much out of it without it being something that's overwhelming and too much for you guys. So by all means, let me know what you think. But guys, like I say, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I am so incredibly grateful. The race to 1K is on, and I didn't think I'd ever be able to say that, and it makes me, even my no-tooth grin will get a smile out of that one, guys, right? It's about as good as you get right there. Guys, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.